Shameless.
United in the Europa League. Europa League. We tell them one time and we say Europa League. Europa.
Lyon 2, Manchester United 2. I am sick. I am sickened. I am tired. I am just beyond angry and frustrated. It says it on the thumb, guys. It can't keep doing this. It can't keep doing this. I mean, as soon as, you know what, the fact that we were joking about it with Nemanja Matic saying, oh, he's one of the worst goalkeepers ever, or he's the worst goalkeeper ever at Manchester United. And we laugh and we're like, well, Andre, you better behave yourself, you silly sausage. Be careful. Don't do any madness. But we know he's going to. We know he's going to do the madness. That's what he does. That's what he did. I just can't. This is the full-time view. Members can call in and have your say. We haven't lost. You know, that's the other thing to consider. We haven't lost. You know, we're 2-2. I would still say we're in pole position. Second legs at home. We still should go through. Obviously, Lyon aren't great, but just Andre and Onana, just mad. And then obviously that's not to ignore other players. Højlund, awful. Garnacho, again, no end product. Really poor. Now Ruben Amorim's got some big decisions to make, but let's get straight to the cause. I know a lot of people are going to want to have their say this evening. Let's start off with Show. Can it, I mean, talk to me about Andre Onana. I mean, what more needs to be said?
No, I mean, there's nothing more that needs to be said. There's nothing. We shouldn't see this guy in a United shirt ever again. We shouldn't play for the rest of the season, and the first thing should be to sell him in the summer. I mean, there comes a breaking point with every single player. Today was the breaking point. I mean, it's just everything that's involved in it. The way you talk leading up to the game, then the errors that you made. And I don't know if you guys mentioned it in the watch along. I might have missed it, but the guy shamelessly celebrates Xerxes' second goal in front of the Lyon fans, right? And then makes another mistake like that. Like, I honestly, like, this guy is. He's not just one of the worst United keepers I've ever seen. He's one of the worst keepers I've seen, period. Like, the mechanics in the way he saves shots. Like, the first one you guys mentioned, like, the way the ball bounces over him because he's moving down at, like, I don't know, 10 frames a second. Like, the guy, I don't know. Like, honestly, if Amorim starts this guy, I mean, he can start him against Newcastle. I don't care about that game, right? But if he starts this guy against Lyon next week, I'm holding Amorim accountable. Honestly, not Onana, I'm holding Amorim accountable because I don't know how many more errors you have to see this guy make. And especially today, European quarterfinal, you're doing that? Nah, come on, enough's enough. Enough's enough. Drop this guy.
Yeah, I mean, do you think he will? I mean, obviously, we were talking when we saw Bayern back at the weekend on the bench. We were like, oh, I wonder if he's going to play him. We went, well, probably not. Just come back from the injury and what have you. But we saw when he was making mistakes earlier on this season, Ruben dropped him for Bayern. Do you think that will happen again, or is it just going to be a case of no? He's going to be stubborn, a bit like Ten Hag was.
There's no choice in this. It's a simple. The decision is simple. Bayern starts next week. It's as simple as that. Like, yes, we have a small sample size with Bayern, but the small sample size is enough at this point because, like you said, Lyon are good. We should be good enough to beat them next week at home. With this guy in there, no, we're not, because it doesn't. You saw today. It doesn't matter how well you play with this guy, you won't win the game. It's pointless. Like this. Like, if you're an outfield player today, yeah. You're thinking, what the hell's the point? Like, if Xerxes came on and did his contribution, I'd be like, what was the point of what I did today when this guy's going to do that? Like, it's just, and you can see no one on the pitch has any confidence in him. The way Maguire wellied that clearance, even though Onana was a yard behind him, that tells me no one believes in this keeper. They don't want him collecting nothing. They don't want him saving nothing. Like, any shot that goes at this guy, like, even if it's down the middle, like the one that they scored from, you think, what on earth's going to happen? Like, I saw Alice put a tweet out, which was perfect. She said, "I don't know why Lyon are booing him. He was their best player tonight." Like you know what I'm saying? Like they should have given him a standing ovation.
Yeah,
That's what they should have done. They should have bowed down to him, said, all hail ONANA. He was the best.
yeah.
He probably had their highest XG tonight. Let's be real.
Literally. It's so bad. Big up, show. Appreciate you calling in. We're going to keep it running. We've got quite a lot of calls to get to this evening, folks. Amanor says, I'm on Amarin Watch now. Your job is on the line. Item Panda also says, I stand corrected on my Bruno. Some United legends, none of them has had to even deal with this kind of carry job. What's Beck's going to do to this team? Cross to our high-scoring striker. Wake up. Yeah, I mean... It's just bad. It's bad. Let's go to another call. Let's go to where should we go to? Let's go to JJ. JJ, talk to me. I think when we spoke last time, you were talking about, ONANA, and you said, I'm almost embarrassed for him. How are you feeling after tonight?
I was having a shitty day, I'm not gonna lie. And this guy just made it worse, in all honesty. Because we watching United, watching a soccer team that you love or a football team you love, supposed to be some kind of therapy, right? For you to get away from your problem, just have a good time, get a glass to drink something. This guy's gonna send me to depression. I'll be honest with you. Literally, if you go back last year, that game against Galatasaray, from the right side of the field, Ziyech, he put the ball in the same sport. In the same freaking sport.
Yeah.
And if you just have a person that is like, oh, you saw the goal by Arsenal? ONANA can't save any of that. The way Courtois, the way Courtois will show up and be able to save balls, the way Donnarumma was saving PSG, ONANA can never, I'm sorry, never in his life can he ever do that. And I'm sick, I'm tired, I'm like, and he has a big mouth. Like, just shut the hell up. Shut up. It's like that guy on a group project that is not going to do anything and is the first picking the hardest question in class. Like, shut the hell up. Like, I'm so frustrated with him. I'm so frustrated. That you're supposed to be in command of your box. You're supposed to, and that's why, remember when the thing with him and Dogu, and I believe I put on a super chat that day. I'm sorry, not in a million years was Dogu ever in fault for that.
Yeah.
Because as a keeper, Dogu doesn't have I play CDM in our Sunday league and stuff like that. All I have to do as a player is I check once. I know where you are. I put my eye back on the ball and I play to where I believe you're supposed to be. And you are no longer there. And this guy, just as is important to score a goal, saving a goal is almost like scoring a goal. So literally today, bro, it cost us the game. And yes, I know you asked the other guy, and I'll be honest, I don't think he's gonna get dropped.
Do you think he's gonna play next week?
I think he's gonna play. I think the decision making of saying, you know what, enough is enough. I don't think we're gonna get that. I honestly, it's like they're gonna beat around the bush, maybe not to hurt his ego, because they might have the belief that what if Bayindia reverts back to the initial Spurs game? What are they gonna do at that time? Are they not gonna go back to ONANA? But guess what? They shouldn't bother, because if ONANA messes up, our season is over. If Bayindia messes up, the season is over. So why not just take a chance of saying, you know what, at least let's try to get it right. And I hope they're able to do that. And real quick, Garnacho, I love him. I know I came last week and I said that the United environment, affects the growth of our young players. And I still stand by that, right? However, since the United environment is not going to flip and change immediately, then we need to move him out of that environment, because today the boy is supposed to, when Zoxy make that run behind his shoulder. The ball that's supposed to go into that, you didn't pick that pass. You pick the back pass to Bruno. You overhit the ball. It's just constant mistakes. So, in all honesty, man, if they can go back to Napoli, get some money, go back to Chelsea, get some money, maybe they send him back to Atletico Madrid where he came from. Maybe they can get some money, but I honestly think his time is up. His time is up, man.
His
It's so
time is up.
sad. Yeah, and
Yeah.
the way we considered that goal made a draw felt like a loss. That's the honest truth. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. Today sucks. I'm sorry for you because you've had to talk on the call for the past 2 hours, man.
Mate,
I'm
I'm
sorry
used to
for
it.
you.
This is what this team does. This is what this team
It's
does. This is what this goalkeeper does. It's just it's rough, man.
it's
It's
gut
rough.
wrenching, bro. It's gut
Yeah.
wrenching. Hopefully next week, hopefully things changes. Hopefully we can put in a win. Hopefully that we don't play with, because technically we're playing with 9 men, Garnacho and Onana,
Yeah.
right? Hopefully we don't do that. And hopefully we can move to the next, because like it's really gonna ruin the season that is already bad if we can't even. I mean, let's get to the finals. Let's lose in the finals, something like that. I'll be like, at least we tried. But if we get out in the quarters, when it is the likes of Frankfurt, Spurs, Lyon, that we are Rangers, those are the people we have to contend against, and we can't get to the finals, that would be sad.
That'll be sad. Big up, JJ. Appreciate you calling in as always. Look, I think JJ speaks for all of us. We're just depressed watching Onana play. It's just depressing. We've got nearly 1,000 people watching, guys. If you haven't already clicked the like button, be sure to subscribe as well. Let's keep the calls going. We've got loads to get to. Let's go to... Where should we go to next? Let's go to GJE. GJE, what are your thoughts on what you witnessed this evening? Do you want to talk about Onana as well?
Yeah, that's why I'm here. I'm literally here to talk about Onana, because what I want to say is, what the hell is wrong with this brother, man? Like, what's his problem? Like, he's clearly not right in the head. Like, okay, let's start from the beginning of all of this. Firstly, he comes out and does the whole interview or whatever, talking about how United are a better side than Lyon. Who gives him the right to say that? Especially with how bad we've been this season. We'll be so terrible. You have no respect for the opposition. You go around saying that. Of course, Matic takes it personally, and he literally proved Matic's point, because Matic literally said, "You're the worst goalkeeper. Keep quiet. Like, I don't want to hear what you have to say." And he proved his point today. Matic literally won this from the bench. And then you reply back talking about trophies that you've won at United. Mate, this is Man United. You won an FA Cup or League Cup. That's nothing to us. This is a club that wins Premier. We're supposed to be winning Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. We don't care about that. You're talking to Matic that's won back to back. He's won 2 Prems, Champions Leagues, etc. This is a well-decorated footballer, and you think you can go chat to him. And then, okay, even if you were to make all that noise, the least you had to do was go on that pitch and perform well and not embarrass us. And what do? You let 2 silly goals in. You let 2 silly goals in. Like, honestly, from the moment this brother was wearing 24, we should have known that he wasn't serious. How do you come Man United? You're supposed to be the first goalkeeper, and you decide there's the number 1 shirt looking at you, but we have our first goalkeeper wearing bloody number 24. We should have known this brother was not serious. Our second goalkeeper is the one wearing number 1, so he shouldn't be on the pitch. He's the 24th player in the team. He shouldn't be on the pitch. As far as I'm concerned, if I'm Amarim right now, Onana shouldn't play. Onana shouldn't play, because you speak about standards. This is the same manager that let Rashford go on loan to Aston Villa. The same manager making sure Sancho is out. All of this happening. If we're talking about standards, setting the bar at this club, Onana should not play 1 single game again. He should be out of here. He's been at this club for 3 years, and all he's done is just make howler after howler after howler, error after error. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. I don't care what happens next. As far as I'm concerned, Bayern should be in the post when we play Newcastle, and he should play when we play Lyon. Even if it means we get knocked out, that's the standard. You can't come out, talk like that, embarrass us, and still expect to play. What sort of message are we sending to players at this club? We're becoming a joke. This is just ridiculous. Like, I'm actually upset. Sorry, Owen. I'm actually upset because Onana actually annoyed me today. And then people were wondering, like, why didn't nobody support Onana? No one could support him because he's not a player that you're supposed to. He's not a good player.
He's not a great player. He's not one to back. If Bruno came out and maybe said some stuff like something about Lyon or Matic clap back, we could probably back Bruno because we know what Bruno has kind of done for the club. But Onana coming out to say all of that, it's just I just don't get it. And then to put in that performance, even when it was a 2-1, it was 2-1. He was celebrating the goal in front of the Lyon's fans. There was a time he had a goal kick. He was staring at the fans. I don't know if it was aura farming. Like, I don't know what he was doing. And then you then go do that. It's like, where's your focus? Like, the game's not over. And what annoys me the most is that I knew it was going to happen because when it went 2-1, I literally put in one of my group chats. I was like, I don't want to celebrate too much because I know that United are going to concede because we do this all the time. And then when that happens and Onana makes that error, I'm just like, what is going on here? At this rate, as far as I'm concerned, I feel like as we go into the next window, the priority for me, the first transfer we need to make is a goalkeeper because I can't lie to you, Owen. It doesn't matter what striker you bring in. If a striker is scoring 5 goals and Onana is letting in 6, we're not going to win a football game. As far as I'm concerned, number one priority is getting a brand new goalkeeper because when you keep conceding goals in games and moments like that, you kill the game states. You kill the aura, you kill the whole plan. Once we're conceding, because when that game was going on, Lyon were not that good today. I didn't watch that game
No.
feeling like, oh, they were that much of a threat. But when your goalkeeper is letting the ball into his net that many times, you're killing everything. You're killing the plan, the tactics, the morale is low. Like, you're giving Lyon that confidence to do better. So as far as I'm concerned, I feel like it's so important as we go into that transfer window, we have to get a goalkeeper. That's the number one priority before we even think about getting a striker. Because Onana right now is like he's just coming to sabotage us. Like he actually has. And I don't think getting rid of De Gea was a mistake because we did have to move on. But I feel like now we need to move on from Onana. It's so key. And I think Amram needs to make a decision. And I feel like he needs to drop this player to set the standard that this is Man United and you cannot be acting like this. You cannot be performing poorly week in, week out and still be expecting to play on that pitch.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you're saying, GJ. Totally agree. Big up. Appreciate you calling in as always. Another super chat from K Flow says, Marcel said this guy will transform the team. Yeah, he did all right in the opposite direction. He's horrendously awful. I don't care how much. Get rid. Let's see what some of you guys are also saying in the chat as well. MA says summer recruitment, goalkeeper, right wing back, centre midfielder, 210 centre forward. That's 6 players. We got five things this summer, so it can be done in one window. S. Madison said he's playing against us. Dave says there must be a keeper we can get on a free. That's kind of what I was saying at the end of that game, Dave. I totally agree with like, I will not have in the summer. I will not have in the summer this thing of like, oh, we can't afford to get a goalkeeper. Even if it's a free, even if you could find someone that's like 18 for 500,000, they will be better. I'm telling you, they will be better. Any keeper, find any keeper, they will be better. Guaranteed. I mean, let's go to another call. Let's go to Amanor. Time for pillow talk. Amanor, I mean, I don't think you're laying down because you're tired. You're probably laying down this evening because if you stand up, you'll probably just be so furious that you'll pass out or something like that. Talk to me. How are you feeling?
Good evening, Owen. I'm very well, thank you. Before we talk about the obvious, can we just talk about a few positives, actually? First of all, Lenny Yoro and Mazraoui. I thought Lenny Yoro in that game was fantastic. The way, I know he scored the goal, but even if he didn't score the goal, him and Mazraoui, I just thought that they look so settled now. Especially Yoro. I was a bit concerned about initially, is he going to be succumb to the pressure of Man United? But he's done really well. And the fact that he played against the French team, probably knows the league better. We've got to give Lenny Yoro a bit of respect. And Mazraoui as well. Mazraoui, I know he just impresses me more and more. And the fact that we've got him for 12 million or 15 million pounds, I can't remember what the transfer fee was. I just wanted to give a big shout out to those two individuals because I know there's a lot of negativity in the call, rightly so, about two individuals actually. But yeah, I just want to say that first. I don't know what you thought about that. Those two.
No, I think Lenny Yoro, he spoke after the game, did really well. And it must be so frustrating for him, Bails out Onana, defends well, and then you've still got someone behind you that's going to still let it down. And they're meant to be, the person behind you is meant to be the experienced one as well. It's just crazy.
I know. And then before we talk about the goalkeeper, we need to talk about Rasmus quickly. Well, I'll talk about both of them to us, Rasmus and Onana. Onana, everybody's said everything that they say. I agree with everybody what they've said, so I'm not going to repeat that. But I'm now I'm looking at the Amarin now as the manager. I'm not sacking. I'm not a manager out or anything. I'm not saying that. So I don't want people to misinterpret that. All I'm saying is that he has to make a decision now. He has to decide next Thursday is the game of this season. It's his game, biggest game as a Man United manager so far. He needs to pick his best players that will secure the win against Lyon at home. And for me, if he chooses Onana in net and Højlund as our striker, then I don't know. I'm going to go to the match, by the way. But yeah, I would love to see what Ruben Amorim does next.
What do you think he'll do? Do you think he'll keep with Onana? Do you think he'll keep with Højlund? I mean, to be fair, he did take Højlund off, Xerxes on, and Xerxes, like at the weekend, offered much more. Obviously, scores tonight. Do you think he'll make both of those subs, one of those subs? What do you think?
This thing in my head, logically, it makes sense. But I think he's going to persist with Onana. But I think he may take off Højlund. But I just don't understand the rationale for it. Is it because he's seeing something in Bayern in training that we don't see, that tells him that Bayern is not as good as Onana? I don't know. So, like I said, Owen, so more we can rant about Onana. He's a crap goalkeeper. We get that. We knew that before the game. That's why nobody's surprised. But for me, it's more about the manager now. Like, look, it's blatantly obvious now that you're going to face the biggest game next Thursday. The Glazers and the big chief or Mo Barada will understand. They've seen this as well. They're going to react to what you do as well. So, yeah, it's all eyes on the manager now. Forget almost you got to set Onana as a default. You got to set Onana as a faulty player. He's a faulty product in your machine. You need to replace him. You as a manager, are you prepared to make that call?
Yeah, and it's going to be a big one. I mean, what do you think happens with Newcastle at the weekend? Because obviously people are going to be looking ahead to the game next Thursday. Do you play your Højlunds and your Onanas in that Newcastle game, or do you just go, actually, I'm using that Newcastle game to make sure that Bayern is not rusty. I'm actually going to have a look at Bayern in that game, or do you think he'll just continue to back his keeper?
Honestly, I'm not trying to be facetious with my answer. I don't know. I do, especially with Amorim on the goalkeeper position. I don't know. Amorim seems to be able to make the big calls for outfield players like Rashford, Anthony. Those are two big players. He was able to make those big calls, and Sancho. Well, not Sancho,
yeah.
but
he dropped Garnacho. He dropped Garnacho from the match day.
So if you can make the big calls against the outfield players, what's stopping you from making the big call against the goalkeeper? I don't know. Does Onana have some private pictures of Amorim in a compromising position that means that he can't do it? I genuinely don't know. So somebody's going to have to explain this to me. What is preventing Amorim from making the right call? Sorry, I'm ranting, but I don't want to.
There you go. Well, he's still ranting, laying down. 9:06. It's late. That's what he does. Amorim. I always like new viewers when they tune in. They go, "Is he laying down?" And you go, "It's the whole thing." We've got over 900 people watching, guys. Let's see if we can get to 300 likes. We're currently at 217. If you haven't already, click the like button. Also, be sure to subscribe. Let's keep the calls going, actually, because we've got so much to get into. Let's go to Joe Blackman, because we were talking on the Full View yesterday. We spoke at length about the Onana situation, and then it's played out pretty much exactly how we thought it would. Joe, talk to me.
Exactly what I said was going to happen. I said we was going to lose, and just fortunately we drew. Yeah, but I said Onana was going to run his mouth and he was going to talk himself into a grave. Yeah, do you know what? I'm still watching the replays, Owen. That's why I've turned down my TV just as you got me on, yeah, because I'm still watching the replays right now. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous what he's done. I've taken so many pictures off the TV. I'm going to use them when I get on KG shows in a minute, right? Because I'm going to these screenshots, they're terrible. He literally, the first goal, he just falls to the floor. He just falls to the floor. He doesn't actually do anything. He just drops. And I've noticed something now about this guy. He doesn't actually ever try to catch the ball. He just parries the ball every single time. Every single time he goes to parry the ball. He never goes to actually catch the ball. He's not a ball stopper. He's a ball slapper. Yeah, that's what he is. He's literally a ball slapper. Yeah, that's all he's doing. Yeah, because every time he gets the ball, bro, he's slapping it. There's never a time where he oh man, I'm so angry. I'm just going around in circles. But honestly, Owen, we got scammed. We got scammed. I'm not even sure if he's a goalkeeper because he doesn't do any of the fundamentals right. None of the fundamentals.
Do you think Amarim makes a decision about him? Does he play next week? Does he play at the weekend, or is Amarim
I'm
going to
going to tell
back
you
his
this.
player?
I'm going to tell you this because I've been criticizing the manager a lot, and people said maybe way too much. So I'm just going to say this: if Amarim does play him next week again, then this is going to be his Rashford in terms of what happened with Ten Hag. If he keeps doing this, and I know it's this season, and we're going to say, "Oh, we're only playing him for this season. We're going to get rid of him." But bro, what are you doing? Why can't you just play someone else? Why?
Yeah.
I'd rather you at this point play Tom Heaton. I'm not joking.
Yeah,
I'm not joking. Play
No,
Tom
no.
Heaton.
I
Play
agree.
Tom Heaton. Yeah. If you don't think Bayern is it and you don't think he's the one, then fine. Just play a goalkeeper that we know can actually just do normal goalkeeping things. Yeah. He doesn't dive. He falls. He doesn't catch the ball. He parries. He's just a fake goalkeeper. He's a fake goalkeeper.
He's a ball what? He's a ball
He's
what?
a ball slapper. He's a ball slapper. You know what he is. Yeah. He doesn't do anything, right? I'm tired of this. No, Owen, it's become too much now. Yeah, and I know everybody's got in on Onana today. It's going to be the Onana show, double show, triple show. Everybody's going to be chatting about Onana. But at the same time, he's brought this on himself. If he didn't bring this attention onto himself before the match, would there be this heat? Do you know what? Here's the thing. You know what? Everybody says, oh, he didn't say nothing wrong. He just spoke about the team. Okay, he spoke about the team. But didn't he also then, after, he slapped back? He clapped back. After
You and that slap word, man. You and that slap word. You can't stop saying it.
It's Onana's fault. It's Onana's fault. It's his fault. after Matic said something, he didn't have to say anything. Do you get what I'm saying? You then amped it up more by slapping back. And this is why now you're in this position of embarrassment. Now everybody in the fan base is onto your situation. If you had half of the fan base that was supporting you before, that half has now been halved, at least. It's over for you. It's over. It's over. And if Amarim proceeds to try and keep him next season, then it's over for Amarim as well. Simple.
Big up Joe, man. Go catch him on KG's channel on KG's Reckless Sport. Once this show ends, it'll redirect over to there as well. And catch him on Wednesdays on the Full View here on United View. Yeah, La Reclasia. Let's go to another call. Let's go to Chalaboy Comics. Oh, man. Well, how is it going? I mean, talk to me. I mean, we haven't lost. It feels like a loss. What you said about Onana and everything.
So what I want to start by saying that I'm tired and I feel really bad for the players. But there's a quote that Conte did in a press conference where he said, Antonio Conte, he says his friend told him that you can make a mistake with your wife, but you can't make a mistake with your striker, your goalkeeper. And unfortunately for Manchester United, those are our two major problem, positions. We've talked about this a long time where I called Onana an outfield player with gloves, because when it comes to the ball skills, he has a lot. But when it comes to goalkeeping fundamentals, he lacks them in a great amount. And I believe it was the Brighton game in January where I basically said, I don't know if I'm jumping the gun, but I don't believe Onana will be a Manchester United keeper come the end of summer. At that point in time, I thought I was reacting because I was so pissed, but something in me told me that the penny has to drop sometime. And I think this game just confirmed that. And now it's no longer, I would be surprised if Onana will not be a Manchester United keeper come the summer. I'm fully convinced because if you look at Ten Hag's era, we had that Champions League run that was blundered by Onana, and there were multiple points in the season. Like, it's at a point where there's so much money in the game that every mistake he makes is probably like £1 million that he's losing the club, right? So I feel bad for him in the sense that, I never want to go after our own players, and also like I have an affinity for African keepers, and like I just feel he set back African keepers in this Premier League and Europe for a while. So we'll need to have better PR going forward, But yeah, I just think it was a shambolic performance from him. But a lot has been said about Onana. It wasn't good enough. It hasn't been good enough. So I think I'll let other callers talk about that in more detail. But I just want to highlight the three people I want to focus on in terms of who I'm happy for, and that's Lenny Yoro. Again, this guy is so intelligent. This guy is so smart. The way he moves, you know, the way he anticipates, the way he plays. We have a gem, and it's just all about nurturing. I feel like from a football perspective, there's not much he's bad at. The key is just going to be experience will be his teacher going forward, right? I think his baseline is so high, so I'm really happy for him. I thought he had a really good performance. I'm very happy with Kobe Mainoo, who came on, and his intelligence to get that knock on to Bruno for the cross, you know, was very smart. And this is my appeal to you, to United View, to Fleck, you know, to KG. When we're talking about Kobe Mainoo, please, please, please let us not be wishy-washy about, does he fit in Amarim's system? Is he a good? No, no, no. Amarim has to make Kobe Mainoo work. This guy is one of the best players, young players, you know, coming on. We use the generational term a lot, but I believe fundamentally this guy is generational, and it's up to a good coach to recognize that and make the system work, you know, for Kobe. I believe that he's an all-rounded player in the sense that he can play in the middle of the park and he can play higher up. So Ruben, make a way to make this good. Like, hopefully he's going to stay fit. That's the one question mark. But I don't want to hear anything about maybe we're moving Kobe Mainoo on. Not at all, not at all. And then lastly, I want to shout out Joshua Xerxes because he is not a striker, as we talked about. He's a number 10, 9.5. But as I mentioned in the chat earlier in the game, something that you know, Ten Hag was trying to instill in Xerxes was about him arriving into the box. Amarim also said it himself. It's one thing for him to drop deep, you know, and link up. But as a Man United player and attacker, you need to get yourself in the box. He got himself in the box for this game, got a good goal. So I want to just say that I'm proud of him with that development, and I hope he can, you know, do better. But all in all, I just feel bad for the players because they put in a good shift, and we were let down once again by ONANA. So I just feel bad. So that's just what I wanted to share for the game today.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Chala Boy Comics, as always, calling in, getting involved in the show. We've got over 800 people watching at the moment. We are less than 50 away from 300 likes. If you haven't already, click the like button and be sure to subscribe. A reminder that fan views and play ratings are coming up very shortly if they're not up already. Let's go to another call. Let's go to Eminem. I mean, I think everyone coming on wants to have their opportunity to vent about ONANA. This is Therapy View this evening. How are you feeling?
I'm done with ONANA. I was really happy until the 94th minute until that parry. But as soon as I saw that shot coming in, I knew there's something's gonna happen here. I'll be honest. I thought he had a good start to the season. And then after Amarim came in, his mistakes started coming again. And honestly, I thought I was just giving him the benefit of the doubt that obviously new coaching setup, low confidence, that might be the issue. But no, it's him right now. And like, I don't want to abuse the guy. I don't want to his quality won't work for us at all. So I could see why he will be a priority to like replace in the summer. And I'd rather just. It's not going to happen because he did this with Bayern. Bayern had a crap game against Tottenham. Then he started against Arsenal in the FA Cup. But obviously, Bayern did really well there. But Amarim's going to do the same here. He's going to start against Newcastle and he's going to start against Lyon in the home game, which is disappointing. But my main issue today really was, again, chemistry. I said it during the stream. Yeah. Chemistry of attack was so poor. Until we had actually the right players. We just had one strike in Xerxes, but we had Bruno, Mount, Kobe in the attack, and that they have as much as chemistry that we could actually provide in this squad at the moment. Garnacho and Højlund don't provide that at the moment, and it's kind of just funny how in our spine that the top of the spine and the bottom of the spine is our biggest issues with ONANA and Højlund. And it's going to be a huge summer for us. And just moving forward, I'm really frustrated today. I'm really happy for Xerxes. I'm still actually disappointed in Amarim as well. I don't know what his thought process was about not starting Xerxes. I don't know why he wanted to start Højlund back to back because Højlund has not provided enough to actually give him that confidence. It is really surprising to me. So that does worry me about Amarim at the moment. I get Garnacho because legs. and he can provide the odd quality here and there. But Højlund is really surprising to me. I don't know why he's starting him, and it does put a little bit of doubt on Amram for me.
What do you think about that stuff today with Højlund possibly, Serie A clubs sniffing around him? With Højlund and Garnacho, would you be letting them go in the summer if offers came in?
Do it. Yes, 100%. Mainly Højlund, because I think we need a better striker than him, and he's not going to provide that quality for us. Like, I know Delap's been talked about at the moment, but even there's a small moment during I think our home game against Ipswich where I think Delap won the ball against De Ligt, pushed forward the ball, carried it forward, and then did a Travella pass to the winger. That's something Højlund cannot do, and that's just a glimpse of what we could see with Delap, who's at 21. He's 21 at the moment at this time, and I think he could provide better quality than what Højlund provides us at this time, and maybe Syria might be his level. He might get better. That is true, but his foundations, I've said it before, I'll say it again, his foundation is exceptionally poor, and it won't work for the Premier League and won't work for a team like us where we have to be dominant when going into attack, and we need to trust the striker can give the defenders a bit of a problem rather than just turning it into a SummerSlam match.
Yeah, literally. Hulk Højlund strikes again. Big up Eminem. Appreciate you calling in as always. The Mancutioner, he became the latest member of the UV Members Club, even though he was a member. He's also a moderator, and he's also on the show right now. The Mancutioner.
Hey. I'm back, baby.
I mean, you're bringing some positivity, some humor to a very depressing show. How are you feeling?
Well, I'll tell you, after this call, I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to buy a pineapple upside down cake, and I'm going to elbow smash it, for Mr. Pineapple Head. Now, on the positive, though, I did want to actually call out, it was refreshing seeing some of our injured players come back. So Mason Mount, Kobe Mainu, although we didn't see Luke Shaw, he was on the bench. So it's nice to know that we are finally having some depth in the bench, and it was nice to also see the positives when we had some of those players come onto the pitch. We were kind of bopping the ball around. I was like, oh, we actually might do something. We scored 2 goals, and I don't know if for a brief, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it looked and felt like things were finally clicking.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say that was a positive.
Yes, that was positive, and it was that brief feeling of euphoria, wasn't it? Towards the end of the game, a late winner. There you go. It wasn't amazing, but brilliant. We've come back from behind, and then it just ends in sadness, like a true wrestling match. Mancutioner, the heels won.
Yes. Ultimately, yes. So that's really the only thing I wanted to come in and say. And the only thing as well is for the chat. Make sure to go and, just like a wrestling match, take that ladder or that chair from under the mat, and you go and you sneak up to the like button and you smack it to end it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. And don't break any beds in the process. Look at Mancutioner. He's been not that reckless. I mean, I know he came in singing John Cena, but for him, that was all right this evening. Nothing said. I think he knew that. I saw him in the chat. He was pretty furious that some of the stuff that Joe Blackman was saying, and he was like, "I would have got sin bin for that." Times have changed. Times have changed, Mancutioner. We've times have changed, so it's fine. It's fine. So there you go, guys. Where do we end up in terms of the likes? Just under 300 likes. If you haven't already clicked the like button, we're like 13 likes away. So yes, click the like button and be sure to. It was good for him, wasn't it, Joe Black? That was good for Mancutioner. Not for him. That wasn't bad at all. So yeah. So there you go. All right. Fan views, player ratings coming up soon. We'll be live once again tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. discussing the fallout of that. And anything else to come. Trinity, I think Trinity's going to be on Saturday this week, I think. Yes. and there'll be a preview and everything else tomorrow. But yes, appreciate everyone tuning in for the match view. Obviously, for the full-time view, big up to everyone that called in. Loads of calls this evening, which was great. If you're watching this after the fact and you want to call in next time, just become a member. You can do so. Links in the video description is pinned in the chat. You get your badges, your emojis, your exclusive members-only content, and the ability to call in on this very show. Which, by the way, I tell you what, with some good callers, hey, you can work your way up onto a main show. Yeah, you can work your way up onto the main show. Joe Blackman called in. He's on the Full View on Wednesdays. Yeah, or you can call into KG show after this. You'll be straight redirected over there to Reckless Sport. Get involved there. You can find your way through La Reclasia and end up on the Full View or something like that. Anything's possible. Yeah, anything's possible. So appreciate everyone for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow morning. I'm out of here. Peace.